Hey guys, we're the Villains Demand. I'm Evan the Great. This is Justin Von Doom. Today we're here to give you another movie review.
Today we'll be talking about Jurassic World. Just hit theaters this weekend. Direct sequel to Jurassic Park way back when in '93. Whatever you're doing, stop and go watch it. It was amazing.
Okay, are you guys back? Alright, so what do you think of it?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I seen where a lot of people were complaining about some stuff. I really didn't think there was a lot to complain about. I mean, there are some flaws, but I guess that's just personally me being young enough to watch the original. But overall, I thought it was really good. It kept you on your toes. Dinosaur sequences were really good, especially that one at the end.
Oh yeah. To me, the movie was just great. Had good casting. I think everybody that played good roles in it, and there was enough dinosaurs, because usually when they do a movie like this, like when they do like Transformers or something like that, there ain't enough of the what you want. And here you got plenty of dinosaurs, and there was even a new dinosaur that they was creating, and it's got a really good plot twist, and I enjoyed the movie. The only thing that kind of stood out to me is some of the scenes. The CGI wasn't as good if the scene wasn't as important as the other scenes. But besides that, the movie to me was flawless, and it can't beat the original, because the original for its time was all, it was a lot better. They had to do a lot more work to make the dinosaurs, and this one's more CGI. But that's what I give it a pretty high score. I recommend going and watching it.
Well, going with what you said, my whole thing is CGI. You watch the original, Stan Winston did a lot of practical effects for it. They built like the gigantic T-Rex, which I have seen. And I would really like to see a lot more of that, because that brings realism to the movie. Where everything's not heavy CGI. Like when you finally see the T-Rex there at the end of the movie, and it's like coming out of the dark, and it is so heavily CGI'd, like that part right there I think would have been a great shot for something practical.
Oh yeah, that would have been a lot cooler if it would have been practical.
Other than that, I don't find much wrong with it, except for, was it Claire running in heels from the T-Rex? Yeah. She's got some awesome legs to run in some heels from a 35-foot long dinosaur that can run 60 miles per hour out in the open.
Definitely. Some of the cool things about it, like little things, is some of the dinosaurs that they were splicing. Sometimes you would see a one and you'd be like, why do they make that? Because it's crazy. The pterodactyl with like the T-Rex head, or
I found that comical. I thought that was pretty hilarious.
It was funny, but at the same time, I'm like, what would that serve?
Well, like they said, they wanted something new, and that's what they got with the Indominus Rex. I guess I'll call it the I-Rex, even though that kind of sounds strange. But as you watch the movie, you see this thing, and like I was talking to you, man, this thing is really freaking smart for something that's never been let out of its cage. Like when it goes and it attacks the aquarium, to go back to where the pterodactyl T-Rex looking things, it's like, how does it know that is over there?
Yep.
Which, I understand everything takes place in a day, but for it to run around that park, the park is massive, and to know, hey, bust that out, birds will drop the helicopter, I'm good to go. And just the intelligence of the thing, it reminded me of a Roger Corman film almost. Have you ever seen Carnosaur? Not Carnosaur not as intelligent, but just the ridiculousness of what was going on. It kind of reminded me of a Roger Corman film.
It's kind of like a predator in a...
Yeah, but when it's camouflage, like you can sit there and you're like, man, that thing's in the jungle. It's right in front of them, and they don't even see it.
The end of the movie, to me, was maybe all year the best ending I've ever seen for this year. It was so good. Everybody have seen, if you're watching this, hopefully you've watched the movie by now. If you haven't, stop, go watch it, come back, because the ending is awesome. They have to kind of work together to take this thing out, and it's like got the T-Rex and the Raptor, and it was just awesome. I really loved the end of it, the way that it all went down.
Being a big kaiju giant monster friend, that sealed the deal with me when watching it. You're like, wow. And then when you think it turns one way, like, oh, it's over. No, it's not over. It keeps going, and it just really keeps you on your toes, because you're like, well, who's going to win out of this? Because the T-Rex is going to fight this Indominus at the end of the film, and the entire time when it finally gets in the park, that's just, you're like, okay, when's it going to happen? You know, and you were talking about so much in my favorite part of the movie is the whole thing with Chris Pratt's character in the Raptors. Because he keeps talking about how it's respect and it's, you know, a relationship where in the first one they were just trying to control them. They kept shocking them and electrocuting them and they were trying to control them, and then here it is, I guess you could say 23 years later, they've realized that, hey, you know, you got to treat these guys as basically like equals instead of trying to control them. And to me, I thought that was the greatest part of the movie because, you know, the whole thing is about, the evolution of all the dinosaurs and the genetics and whatnot. Well, it's also about the evolution between man and the dinosaur itself.
Yep. Almost like man and beast.
Yeah.
Last thing before we close out is it also has a whole lot of the old film in it. They kind of bring things here and there.
The Easter eggs,
The Easter eggs. The old building, everything was really cool that they paid homage to that.
Malcolm's book. When I pointed that out, he was like, "Where?" I was like, "Did you not see it?"
I didn't see it. He pointed it out, but it was just awesome. But anyway, guys, that's it for this movie review. Just remember to, if you got a comment, leave it on the bottom. Like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook. We're growing a little bit bigger every week, and more of these videos to come.
Keep reading, y'all.